Good morning, all. Good morning, all. I'd like to stand on existing protocol and use the opportunity to thank you very much for being here with us today. This is the 4th edition of the NDDF that we're hosting, and every year we are blown away by the interest, the passion, and the willingness of the public and private sector actors to be part of this event. Just last month, we had the first forum in Washington, D.C., and it was such a success. In this hall today, I see many faces that I'm familiar with, and I see faces I have not seen before. I thank you all for coming, and I know we all will get to know each other in the course of the next couple of days. Permit me to say a couple of things about PIND. PIND, or Partnership Initiatives in the Niger Delta, works to establish and encourage innovative multi-stakeholder partnerships that support programs and activities which empower communities to achieve a peaceful and enabling environment for equitable economic growth in the Niger Delta. In order to achieve this mission, PIN has structured its operations into 4 distinct but mutually reinforcing programs, including economic development, capacity building, peace building, analysis, and advocacy. The theme for this year's forum is Unlocking Investment Opportunities in Agriculture in the Niger Delta for Regional Competitiveness. The focus is deliberate because it aligns with the Nigerian government's agricultural transformation agenda and the Vision 2020. The timing of this forum is also appropriate because it coincides with the declaration of 2014 as the Year of Agriculture and Food Security by the African Union Assembly of Heads of States and Government. Agriculture as a business in the Niger Delta is diversified and investment opportunities abound. Taking full advantage of these investment opportunities will require investment-driven strategic partnerships with the private sector as well as investment drivers to unlock potentials of our states in agriculture. Over the next 2 days, you will have the opportunity to engage in discussions that will hopefully stir you to consolidate your current commitments towards new priorities, strategies, and targets. This forum will also create the chance for participants to build cross-regional initiatives and alliances, as well as provide concrete answers to germane questions that will help to unlock the investment opportunities in agriculture for the benefit of all Nigerians in the Niger Delta. Perhaps I'm so excited for this year's forum because of the opportunities for partnership we see from last year's events that provided an opportunity to make a real impact. Our theme last year was promoting new approaches for micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises development in the Niger Delta. There was a good mix of public and private sector actors, such as we have here today. Discussions during the event tackled issues such as access to finance for agriculture, as well as unconventional and often unexplored ways to boost farmers' access to support their need. Part of the outcome of the forum was our work with partners such as yourself to link Niger Delta farmers with the Bank of Agriculture. In following up engagements at our economic development centers in Warri, we also facilitated 3 equipment leasing workshops in Warri, Benin, and Owerri, where people have begun to consolidate business relationships. These are just some of the projects that came as an outcome of last year's event, and we could not possibly have done all this alone. This, I must add, is just as it should be. If we're able to improve income and employment in the Niger Delta, the sure way to do this is together. You will hear us use the word partnerships a lot over the course of the next 2 days, because at PIND, we believe that the way that Niger Delta will progress is together. Working together, building together, aligning our interests to create an enabling environment for economic growth that benefits both the big and the small. Your presence here tells me that you believe in partnership as well, and that you believe in a more prosperous Niger Delta. I welcome you once again, and gentlemen and ladies, let's get to work. Thank you.
Let me first of all thank Mr. Sam Daibo, the Executive Director of PIN, for organizing this event in Cross River State. I want to recognize the Commissioner for Agriculture from Bayelsa, my very good friend, the Special Advisor to the Governor, Mr. Roy Ndomaigba, representatives of other commissioners in the Niger Delta, permanent secretaries here present, and other dignitaries here present. I want to particularly single out Professor Ekpere, who is here with us today. He's been a very big godfather. I've known him since I was 10 years old. So I'm happy to see you here today, sir, in my state. My speech. On behalf of His Excellency, Senator Lia Limoke, CON, I want to thank and welcome you all to Calabar, and thank you for attending this very important forum, which is organized by the Foundation for Partnerships Initiatives in the Niger Delta, PIN. The theme for this year's event, Unlocking Investment Opportunities in Agriculture in the Niger Delta for Regional Competitiveness, is apt because it brings to fore the need for the states in the region to focus on the agricultural sector as the main driver of economic competitiveness in the Niger Delta area of the country. The Niger Delta area of Nigeria is regarded as the oil-rich region of the country. But before the oil boom of the 1970s, the region was referred to as the oil rivers because the region was a major producer of palm oil. The region is situated in the southern part of Nigeria, and it has an area of 112,110 square kilometers with a population of about 31 million people. The area consists of 9 states, which was mentioned here: Abia, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, Imo, Ondo, and Rivers State. Most of the people in Niger Delta are employed in the agricultural sector, and these include farming, forestry, and the fish industry. The agricultural sector employs at least 44.2% of the population of the region. So the agricultural sector can be referred to as the cornerstone of the region's economy. However, our farming system in Niger Delta are principally traditional subsistence crop farming, which is characterized by small-sized farm holdings of less than 1 hectare per household. In view of the importance of the agricultural sector to the economy of the region, the government of the 9 states must therefore ensure, as a matter of priority, that the promotion of policies that will unlock investment opportunities in the region and also provide an enabling environment for the active participation of the private sector in the region's agriculture. As in other parts of the world, the agricultural sector is faced by numerous challenges. These challenges include, but not limited to, the following: inadequate rural infrastructure, weak agricultural support services, dependence on rain-fed agriculture, lack of adequate credit facilities, limited access to land, inadequate use of mechanization and irrigation, lack of access to markets, inadequate participation of the private sector in the region's agriculture, lack of adequate manpower due to an aging farming population, and finally, lack of adequate processing facilities. These challenges are not new, and policymakers have been grappling for almost 4 decades now to find answers to the country's low agricultural production, which has remained at subsistence level. In most parts of the world, especially in Asia, there has been significant increase in agricultural productivity and poverty reduction over the last half a century. But in Africa, and indeed our country, Nigeria, there is still no consensus on the right mix of policies and public investments that is required for the transformation of the sector, which would allow for substantial private sector participation in the sector. In Cross River State, we were quick to recognize this and have been working assiduously to correct the mistakes of the past by clearly defining the role of government in the sector. Our government is therefore committed to formulating policies that will improve opportunities in the sector by addressing the problems of rural poverty, low income, food security, and invariably promoting the long-term economic development of our state and the region at large. We recognize that policies that are required for the development of the sector are mostly non-agricultural. This is the reason the state is currently implementing policies that will improve the education and primary healthcare sectors. The administration of Senator Leah Limoke, CON, has embarked on the construction and rehabilitation of a number of rural roads and a number of schools and healthcare facilities. Also, we have embarked on the construction of a number of electrician projects, because without electricity, you can't have processing facilities in rural areas. So we are putting a lot of effort in trying to ensure that every local government has electricity, and every village in Cross River State by 2019 should have electricity and pipe-borne water. All this will help reduce post-harvest losses and improve the income and livelihood of our rural farmers. However, for the overall development of the region, there has to be a regional coherent policy for the sector. That is why we're showing this slide now. This regional policy coherence is important in achieving sustainable development of the sector. Therefore, the governments of the 9 states of the Niger Delta region need to design more effective policies that will avoid the impacts that adversely affect the development prospect of the other states in the region. A coherent policy that will increase the competitiveness of all the states in the region and allow them have greater access to markets for produce in which each of the states has comparative advantage. The present government in Nigeria, under the leadership of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, understands the important role the agri sector plays in the overall performance of the economy of the country, and has therefore shown enough commitment toward the development of the sector through the agricultural transformation agenda, in which the growth enhancement support scheme is a major component. The effort by the Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Akewumi Adeshina, to ensure that the GES scheme is entrenched as part of the country's policy will further assist in addressing some of the critical challenges that have continued to impede the development of the sector in the country. Finally, as an advocate of the free market system, it is our belief that the state role in the agricultural sector should be regulatory and in providing an enabling environment for active private sector participation in the sector. A coherent policy for the region will therefore help in increasing private sector participation and the strengthening of agricultural institutions and other support services for the rapid development of the sector, which will make the sector more competitive and productive. I want to thank you again for finding time to attend this forum. On this note, I declare this forum open. Thank you.